Hi everybody, welcome to the second I'm new to this. Second supercar Saturday. The first one was me showing that I got this car, and now it's time to record something with the car. What I've been wanting to do is do something where I can have the GoPro on my head like I was motovlogging without wearing a helmet. So what I have is basically a head strap. And I did some testing earlier today, and it looks and sounds okay. It could be better. Let me know what improvements you want. When I get in the car, you're gonna see that my point of view is a little high and it looks like at the roof of the car. The only way I could fix that was getting like a chin mount on my helmet, but then I'm wearing a helmet, but then you're seeing too much wheel. I couldn't find a good camera spot, but this is like the easiest and most comfortable way. I'm gonna show you some damage on the front of the car right now, because why wait? So you will see some damage right here. And if you're cringing, that's normal. Supercar damage is not good. And I will say, that is my fault. Because on my first day of driving the car, I went over a speed bump, and I'm in a big 40-inch Jeep most of the time. I'm not used to worrying about speed bumps. I guess I hit it too fast. Boom. I'm dumb. However, there is other damage down here that is not my fault, but it did happen when I was in the car. I think you can see that right there is like plastic missing. That is because of something really stupid that happened on the highway. And I'll talk about that when I get in there with my girlfriend, but right now she's in there. And I'm taking her on a sushi date. Sounds like a bike. Hey! What's up, Gregory? What?
Where are you guys going?
Sushi date.
Anyway, you guys enjoy.
Thanks, man. Have fun. I noticed another issue where if I'm driving fast enough, if there's too much noise, the microphone starts to pop. I don't know what that's about. Hopefully that doesn't happen. The weather is awesome. Look at it out there. It's goodly. It's really good riding weather, but I need to record this video. So a lot of you guys are probably gonna notice the freaking check engine light. Be like, what's the, ah! And the thing about that is two things. One, I don't really know. Two, I believe it is an electrical fault. I don't know if that was the right definition, but when I turned the car on one time, it bothered to say ABS or ESP error or something. I haven't noticed an ABS error when I'm driving, but I'm gonna get that looked at when the car gets dropped off at the shop, which will be early next week, and I'll talk about that. I mentioned earlier that I normally drive a big lifted Jeep, and that's really loud in the cabin, and I do have to speak up a little bit, but in the Jeep it's much louder. You really have to
yell.
You have to kind of yell to hear each other. So this is nice. That is, if you want to hear me talk. What?
That guy over there in that red car, at first he was just like jamming to music, but then he saw your car and he was like, yeah!
So he's having a good day, and I just kind of made it better. On the last video with this car, I talked about the mods that I want to do, and there are some updates about what's going on with that, so I wanted to ramble about it. Before I talk about mods, I want to talk about the unintentional mod of the front splitter damage. So we were on a date to Texas Roadhouse. That's an important detail that you need to know. Sarcasm, it's not important. We were driving back, I think it was this road, and it was dark, and I was just going along, and then boom, like a loud crack, boom, and we just boom, like felt a jolt. Right? Just so they know I'm not crazy. That happened, and I was like, what the heck? I'm like, obviously the front of the car hit the road somehow. It just hit the road. And we're on the highway like this, and yet the highway was wrong enough that it just hit the front splitter. I was like, well, there's obviously definitely some damage up there. And I didn't mind too much. I mean, it was annoying that it happened out on the highway. I don't know why that happened, but it wasn't too big a deal because I was like, well, I already damaged the front splitter, so hopefully it was that part of the car that was damaged by the highway, because I was probably going to replace it anyway, as you know, I was trying to be optimistic about it. So that part I showed you that wasn't my fault, I think is part of the front splitter, so it has potential of being replaced later, but much later. I'm not really worried about it. It looks fine for the most part, but that happened and it kind of sucked, and then I'm like, well, I'm glad that happened before I replaced it, which is a possibility. I would have been pissed off. But anyway, that's that story. Okay, now on to the mods. So last video I mentioned the mods I want to do and in the order I want to do them. I said I wanted to do the wrap first because it's the most important thing to me. However, the plan is now for the wrap to be the last thing that happens, I'm talking with my fingers. I'm not used to talking this way when I motovlog. Hands on, or I can probably lift my hand up, and now I'm like, use my fingers. Anyway, so the wrap is going to be the last thing for a couple reasons. One reason is because it's going to get wrapped down in Georgia. Do with Dan's friend Justin at Atlantic Custom Wraps. It's going to wrap this car, and so we thought it'd be a good idea if I got the other stuff done first, so that when they wrap it and then they, you know, get it out, the car is done, like it looks all good. And also, I have time to get it done, the other work I want to have done here, before I ship it out to Georgia. So what I'm gonna do is some small stuff, like I'm gonna get the cables for the cameras neatened up, gonna get wired to the fuse box for like a better install of this camera. I'm gonna replace the missing grill on the back. I'm gonna replace the grill on the front, switch out that chrome grill. Gonna make, you know, like a front license plate mount. Some other things I can't remember. Oh yeah, the exhaust, that's a big one. The exhaust is gonna get done hopefully next week, so that's pretty exciting. And I decided that I'm gonna wait on the wheels because I didn't know a lot about wheels before I got this. I just assumed one-piece wheel, but I learned about forged wheels and how this car is unique and it demands new wheels that cost, you know, between $5,000 to $10,000, and I'm not excited about that, so I decided I'll wait until later to do wheels. And in the meantime, I'm just gonna probably have these plastic dipped black because I want matte black wheels. There's a specific style I want. Unfortunately, they don't really make what I want as a one piece for this car, so that's gonna be done later. In the meantime, probably when this car gets wrapped, I'll have the wheels plastic dipped. But next week, this car will look a little bit different and it'll sound more better. Can you guys hear the engine in the cab? I don't know if you can. I bet you can kind of hear that. I can't wait till it gets louder. Hey!
No, flip the. It used to be this one that ended, and that one kept going.
Saw, dude. That's a respectable car if you didn't know. It's called a Honda S2000. I know because I can read. No.
Do I have to give him a hand signal too?
You don't have to, but it's respectable. So you have to acknowledge. I'm like, yo, hey!
On this hill, there's a really big bump. I don't know if they still have it or not, but I used to always swerve around it. And I love doing it, even though they fixed, yeah, they did fix it, because you just watch all the cars behind you swerve too. So I swerved and I like look in my mirror and just watch all of them like swerve really quickly.
Hopefully by next week, on next Saturday, I'll be getting the car out of the shop. There's literally one part that I'm waiting on. It's a part I didn't actually think about getting before, but there are rear vents on the car, and I think I'll try to look at those when we get there so you can see. But I'm getting those replaced, and I'll explain why when I look at it. So the rear vents are what I'm waiting on. The exhaust isn't at the shop yet, but it's on the way. So, I mean, I think maybe realistically by next Saturday, hopefully there'll be an update showing the exhaust. Anyway, what do you guys think about the camera? I know that it's kind of high up there. I can't think of a better option aside from obviously putting the camera somewhere else in the car, but I really like the idea of it being POV like this. This is the best option I've come up with so far, but if you have any ideas or something else you want to see, let me know, because I like the idea of having some kind of setup where I can do basically a vlog, motovlog kind of a thing while I'm driving the car. I would like to have this kind of option, so if you have ideas or criticisms, please let me know. Oh, is it only turn left?
Or you can go right. Or you can go straight, either one. Both ways get to it. Pick one.
Okay.
It's literally right there.
It's not
so
stress-inducing.
Either way.
Now what?
Go left.
Right here?
Yeah.
Left, right?
Yeah. Left.
We had that mistake before. Left, right? Yes.
Look how cute.
You made me look. I'm trying to drive.
There's a Saint Bernard puppy.
There was a Saint Bernard puppy. Yeah.
Turn around now.
Nice car. Yeah, people like this car. I want it to be more better though. What? It's not yours.
It could be.
If they weren't looking.
Fast enough.
Oh, right. I gotta show you the vents on the back. Let me get out and show you that. So, these vents at first glance look white, but they are not white. They are like plasticky silver. So I was gonna have these wrapped, but since I'm trying to get more carbon fiber components, I figured, and since they make them, I'm gonna get these pieces replaced with carbon fiber vents, which will of course match the side blades. And then when the car gets wrapped, I will get that wing on here, because there's actually a wing down there I can have put on. So it'll be a carbon fiber wing and vents that match this pattern and gloss and style. So that'll all go on, but next week some little things will get done, and most importantly the exhaust. So that's that. You ready to eat foods? Okay. I love you.
I love you too.
Yeah, I was definitely talking to you and not the car. Thanks, dude.
I saw your whip like Jesus, dude.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah, I'm going.
Thanks, you too. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. I will see you next week. Be good and have fun. Bye.